circle your wagons, more like circle your dragons. Hi everybody and welcome to Here Be Dragons, our dragon-based TTRPG on your home for TTRPG's long lost lore. My name is Philip and I'm the Dragon Master, and surrounding me on three sides are several of our wonderful dragons. Roar hello, dragons.
Hello, dragons.
Hello, dragons.
That was a very good intro.
That is the best it's ever been.
It's not
Ever
accurate.
been.
Circle your... Guys, this is our first stream in over 2 weeks. Part of that delay was on account of a holiday. Another part of that delay was on account of me getting sick. But also that delay was due to some other players who decided not to play sometimes. So it wasn't all on me.
Well, also Dan. You should always just blame Dan, even if, directly Dan is part of the problem this time, but generally you could just always blame Dan.
It was a little bit Dan. Anyway, but now we're all here, and we're gonna have more here tonight. Not everyone. Guys, we're not gonna have everyone, but we'll have more tonight. But we don't know when, so we just started. I also am gonna say that though I am no longer sick, I still have a lingering cough. This means I'm going to do less of certain kinds of voices. Just throwing that out there.
Is Purple Worm still on the table, though, right?
I better be.
Blue Worm?
Oh, I apologize.
Purple
Blue Worm,
Worm.
who is a Purple Worm?
What the fuck? I'm not sure I can. Listen to that.
No.
Cracked.
The hype. It's the
Yeah.
first thing to go. I knew you like.
It's that, and it's
Upper
like
register is the
gravelly
first
people. Or it's just gravelly characters will still appear. They will just speak with less gravel. Not no gravel. Less.
It's fine though. I mean, how often are you actually voicing NPCs in this game? We spend so long talking to each other. We don't allow you to bring characters into it.
This is
And
a good
plot.
game that has less NPCs. It's a very good point. Speaking of less NPCs, behold, the Lost
Right, we're still in taverns.
Caverns. Taverns that look like caverns. Guys, we have opened.
Wait, is it taverns or caverns?
It is.
What
yes.
genuinely, what do you
The
think?
answer is
What do you
yes.
genuinely think?
Oh, it's gonna be caverns.
It is caverns.
But-
Also, it's about caverns. But boy, couldn't it be taverns?
I feel
could
like
be.
it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've
like
been doing a little game with this one, which is that
right.
people try to guess what the next die will be. Currently, there are 3 symbols on these wonderful dice. There's a sort of crystal gemstone. There's a dwarvish axes, and there's an underground spider thing. Like a giant spider is my assumption. We have opened. Has the 10th been opened yet? The 10th has been opened, so we have 10 are open. So we're going to open box 11 tonight. I can tell you which things there have been already. I'm not going to do this every time. So basically, but the point is, if anybody guesses the symbol and die size, you receive nothing other than the knowledge that you guessed. Dan went 2 nights in a row in such an irritating way. Or did he do 3 in a row?
I don't know.
Whatever he did was impressive and it was irritating. And no one wants that guy to succeed.
No.
He's so
Maybe-
fit. Ugh.
Maybe he cheats. He put the same thing and look.
Maybe he's cheating. But he really should have gotten that 3rd one.
Well,
He
no,
really-
no.
He's disguising it.
Dan's enough of a con artist to know that he can't get 3 in a row right. That gives the game away.
I think
2
he
is
did
a fluke.
I think he did get 3 right because Sophia's saying,
Oh,
you got some.
I threw up a peace sign, so we ended up with a
So
balloon.
if anybody wants to guess what die this will be, I will tell you if they've already been sort of done.
Crystal D10.
Crystal D10 has been found.
Okay.
Hammer D8.
Hammer D8 has been found.
Oh. Can we guess another one then?
Of course.
Hammer D10.
Hammer D10 has not been found.
I'm gonna go with Crystal Percentile.
Crystal Percentile has not been found.
Hammer D20.
Hammer D20. All right, so Hammer D20, Hammer D10, Crystal Percentile. Look who's back again. Did
Hammer
anyone
D20.
get it? Oh, It is a
The
crystal,
D6.
but sadly,
I see a 4 on
a
there.
beautiful, oversized. Their D6.
Oh, that is nice, though. That is pretty.
Prismatic. I rolled a 1 with the first roll of that, so it is what we call a bad die, unless we're in a low rolling system, in which case it's a great die. Oh, well, that's about all the excitement I can handle. I'm tired now, and it's time to go to bed. Wait, what am I saying? We have a game.
Wait. Wait. Walk sign is on the cross.
There you go. Wait. So, with all that in mind, also, I will be showing this at some point, not now. Guys, since it is now December, or Subcember, I have Domcember? What was December? Did we have one for December? No. I am currently rocking 2 advent calendars, just like for my own life, that I'm opening every day of December in the traditional fashion. I have a Lego Star Wars, and I have a dice adventure calendar of Christmas Carol. So I will show off those Christmas Carol ones to you at some point, because they're some fun Christmas Carol-y symbols. But for now,
did you go to that yard sale?
I did not. I didn't make it over there.
There was a
Tell people
what looked like someone heisted a delivery truck of some kind. There was a table set up that had a giant yellow bag as a Lego sign, and a foldable table, like a 6-person seating table, just filled with boxes of Lego sets, like several rows high on top, and then also like stuff underneath. It was like an exclusively Lego affair. And I saw them when I was driving out to go pick up cat food, and then the other day I was coming back from getting coffee, and they were still there just in the middle of the week. So it was just like, they're just there. They have just opened up a shop in front of this Lego building, in front of this apartment building, selling Lego.
It's a cool action, if you ask me.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. I'm sure someone is clearing out their collection because they need to pay a bill or something,
It's probably that. Well, I don't know. Maybe if it's still up there in a few days, I'll be able to make it over. But for now, speaking of making it over, let's make over our new character thing, and would you all join me in trying to remember what's been happening in this game?
Sure.
Because 3 weeks ago, we played this for the last time, and I recall that session being fairly productive. But with what? Who could possibly say?
I'm remembering now. We spoke with the mage. We were trying to debate whether or not we could take her or not.
You did. With
She wanted
Fulbright
us to
Spark Minster, the blue spell.
And then she wanted us to meet with the council that's in charge now, but based off of a lot of the shit we said in front of her, she was like, maybe not. And she seems perfectly happy with how things are, and she wants to basically break the gate so everyone can just go out and just sort of recoup wealth and deal with the bipeds, and then feel free to come back. She's sort of suspending Gator Grace for a period of time, right? She did not take kindly to referring to it as a curse.
Right, that's right. And she was not super happy with us.
Yeah, and I remember we were basically sort of debating. I think we were going to go check on some other of our other families, but I remember that was the last thing, as we were maybe heading towards
the Puteroses wanted to
the Puteroses
check
city,
their place.
or my orchards were 3 places maybe to just kind of check in and see what is left of our homes.
Indeed.
Before we head out.
Yes, that was kind of big. And before you head out, and where it is you're heading is not certain. It sounded like maybe you would try to visit Mondevue, to visit the other material plane here, the one that is considered the sort of prime material plane for your cluster. Because as it was explained to you, there are multiple material planes that all sort of share other metaphysical.
That's the one, the Wishland, right?
That is, yes, Wish World Mondevue, home of Wenha. So, with that in mind, yes, that is. I think that is a pretty. There may be some other little details we'll fill in if we need to.
But we surprisingly didn't talk in circles.
Yeah, no, you had a pretty clear, and especially upon talking to Fulbright Sparkminster, you sort of had the realization that, of course, Elon views this all very differently than the others, but you had this revelation that the curse is still going to cause all the problems, The dragons are no different. The dragons are now going to be out for blood until you can get rid of the predisposition towards absolute greed and inevitable avarice. There's no real change you can make, although to Elon, the fact that, although I think Elon was sold when, I'm not sure if it was last session.
Yeah, and I think I brought it up that he is greedy out of a choice.
Exactly. Yes. XigXag sold Elon on some element of this by saying, you're choosing to be greedy, they have to be. That's why
Yeah, I'm big on, I'm like really focusing on like personal choice and the way that it affects your own destiny. So
Elon is his own boss. Nobody's bossing him around.
That's right.
So, well, with all that in mind, we are going to sort of, given XigXag's sort of specific abilities as far as speed and helping the rest of you go higher, and given the fact that the bipeds are now basically on the run, with a lot of stolen treasure, be it from dragons who had died or dragons who had chosen grace, where them stealing the treasure is a much bigger problem because it involves shadows and curses and things. I'm going to say that XigXag, we're going to be able to check in on these locations at least 2 out of 3 without any issue. The closest is to go to Boglach, or Boglach, depending on how you want to pronounce the place name that I created, and to go check there is a sunken fort in the middle of those mires of Boglach, the sort of swampy, just kind of like creepy deadlands of that place. And that is actually where XigXag grew up.
Yeah.
Well, that actually explains a lot.
Home sweet mom.
In the peat bogs and sucking moors
Oh.
of Boglach.
I don't like that at all. That is such an evocative and disturbing name.
There is one city. It is mostly subterranean, although it does have some stuff sort of sticking out of the swamp. It is called Deep Swamp, and people can acquire strange things there, but that is not where XigXag actually grew up, in that city. Though XigXag, you probably can point out Deep Swamp as you fly the dragons over. XigXag is instead leading you into just absolute mire, and there's this like foul, just sulfurous air rising out of these weird, like, when you look at the mud, the kind of the peaty mud below, and you just suddenly see this like bubble come up, and then there's this burst of just sulfur, and you're like, yeah, nature is really happening here. We eventually
Sense of home.
And I'm going to put the following name into both our chat here. But first I'm going to put it into Twitch chat, because this is the name of the entity that XigXag is seeking. I challenge anyone, myself included, to know how one would pronounce such a ring-created, aberration-friendly name as Quadrazix Quadrazux. I think it's that. I think it's
QQ.
I think it's
QQ.
Quadrazix Quadrazux.
But I think there's like a glottal stop in there.
In the first one?
Yeah.
Quadrazix. Quadrazux. So, XigXag, this is a location that you know that you're going to this place.
Okay.
I do have a question though. As you've ventured this way, obviously you guys have traveled together a long time. Have you ever told the other dragons the nature of your parent?
My
feel like-
stepfather?
Yes.
Gosh.
I feel like that came
We
up
have
early.
mentioned about brains and various things.
I feel like you mentioned something about a lich at some point when you were talking about your fascination with brains.
Yeah, I think I mentioned some.
I don't know that lich is a term. Though.
He's not a lich.
No, it was
He's
something
what
about
is he?
like eating
He's a-
brains, like
I'm not sure if I exactly told what type of dragon he is.
Okay, cool. Then perfect.
And I'm
So
not sure if I even remember. I know it's something that
so basically, then in that case, it's very simple what happens. You
Okay.
guys fly in this direction. Oh, could you all roll 4d8s?
That's right.
Let's set our
Alright.
luck for the day.
It's always worrying when Philip remembers our luck rolls before we head into some sort of dire situation.
have a pair.
I have a pair.
A pair. Then you both have 4 luck today.
4 6s.
You have 4 6. You rolled 4d8 and got 4 6s.
That is correct.
You really blew them.
Time, guys. We are through the looking glass now. I'm very scared.
That is
You're
with
not gonna roll
no
anything
manipulation after the fact. That is a deeply statistically improbable roll. Well done. Well, that means you have 7 luck today.
Wow.
Your luck
You
dice
probably
is
will
7.
need it.
Yeah.
Although I think the last time I rolled really well on this, I never made a luck roll. So there's
And
also
it's-
that.
And it is entirely possible you won't. Although, well, we'll see. Perhaps. Tell you what. Yes. Would all of you, now that you've set your luck, for Elon and XigXag, you're rolling exactly what you just did. For Tongart, you're rolling with more dice. Everyone, please roll a luck roll.
Oh no, nothing.
Okay.
I have a pair
A pair
of
for XigXag.
artwork.
Pair of artwork. All right.
Triple gemstone.
Triple gems.
Oh no, sorry. It's triple coinage.
Triple coinage. Security. Understood. Then Tongart will say that your mind is on its own thing. Elon, as you're flying, you do hear a voice
great.
in your head.
Yeah,
You guys
it's
soar
pretty normal.
over these filthy bogs and swamps. And the voice in your head says, "Go away."
Oh, that's weird. It kind of sounds like my mom.
Here comes
That's
the
really-
Guterres family.
I haven't. It's like both the words and the intonation. Oh wait, what do I do? Say, no, mom, you're just going through an episode. I'll think that really hard.
Okay, you'll think that really hard. In that case, no, Mom, you're just going through an episode. That, hello. What an interesting, thing for this person to hear. Elon, you hear this voice in your mind. You think back your sort of response, which is you deem a strong one, a worthwhile one. XigXag, you have not felt any sort of telepathy at present, but you suddenly feel very clearly in your mind a voice saying, "XigXag, are you coming home with friends? I sense other minds that seem weird."
Yes, Dad. Yeah, they're a bit weird, but they're okay. Can we go in?
Oh, of course. I will be welcoming of company. It has been a long time.
Yes, long time.
It does appear, from the mind I just touched, that you're not bringing me a snack, though.
I'm sorry, Dad. Maybe next time.
Do you get the joke?
Yeah, very funny.
Because there's not much brains to speak of. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. And with that,
I don't tell this to the land.
XigXag, you can sort of fly the group down. And hello, Jed, welcome. As you can probably tell, you guys are en route to check in on the families of others. Obviously, your family did not fare well under the bipeds. We're going to see how things went for XigXag. And XigXag does begin to dive down towards this kind of just absolutely sort of fetid smelling, like, just these swamps and moors and peaty bogs.
XigXag thinks it smells wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, fetid could be great if you like fetid things.
Yep.
Also, fetid is the same word as, like, I mean, it's more like fated, but it's like if you have like a big party thrown for you, you're being fated. So it's like a fetid faded. Also faded, like the fates. Guys, let's not worry about other.
Also drunk, like you got faded.
Kind of faded, but I'm feeling all right. XigXag, as you guide them down, no rolls are required. This is your home turf, and this is also happens to be your sort of skill. So basically, you guys have been flying very high, and XigXag was probably keeping you, just for speed's sake, out of, like, really being able to smell this. You were up sort of in, like, the jet stream, but now that you're diving down, the scent of this place hits you. And I believe all of you have at least 6 dice in smell. Is that correct? Tongart, Elon, and Lord Buku?
Yes.
So the stench of this bog is pretty intense. If any of you think you ever would have ventured to Boglach before, I'll allow you to sort of say that. I would say that Lord Buku Bizan, geographically speaking, you're the only person who might have even been near it, and it's not necessarily the most great smelling place. Tongart, you might have as well, but it was kind of, you know.
Can I make a luck roll?
No,
yeah, well, first of all, yes, please roll to set your luck.
I met a bomb from there once.
I rolled a pair of 5s.
Then perfect. You have 5 today. Yes. Go for it.
Right.
Yes.
So then a pair of gemstone.
You have never ventured this far into Boglach, but you're the most familiar with the scent.
Really going into the dark depths, aren't we? XigXag. Certainly.
That's wonderful, doesn't it? Oh, being home again. I miss this.
It is.
So humble roots are showing.
I'm elated by your comfort.
Perfect. Well then, as you all dive, XigXag, you are able to take them into the water, and sure enough, there is a sort of like large kind of collection of just like dead tree branches that have kind of grown up, and though you're going to get pretty slimy kind of diving into it, there is actually like a passage that leads under these waters that, as far as you can tell, you can smell through this horrid scent that there is like a dry area down there. And
Keep saying horrid.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to put it into their stuff. XigXag, you know how it smells, and you're fine with it. As you venture kind of into this area, if anybody wants to pause and not go through, you're welcome to, but XigXag, I would imagine, kind of will land and kind of, spread wings back and start climbing down in sort of the typical way. There are various like wading birds and swamp life, and there's even some alligators kind of moving in this area. But as XigXag kind of goes below, you can tell that XigXag has entered some kind of tunnel, And if the rest of you follow, you soon hear the sounds of some kind of door, of like strong, sturdy iron and perhaps containing various other traps and enchantments. You hear like a grinding sound as some kind of gate is being opened. And soon you find yourself in a sort of large subterranean cavern with a lot of it's very wet, and there's like leaks coming down from above. You see all sorts of strange kind of like roots growing down from above, but the whole place is bioluminescent, and there's a kind of odd greenish glow down here. You see that gate in question that has been opened, and sort of standing kind of there is a dark figure, but it has not yet kind of entered this more lit area. But as you guys kind of come down into this, what seems like a courtyard of some kind, that figure sort of creeps out through the gates. A dragon, a large bomb, but not like any dragon any of you have ever seen before. It is something out of a nightmare. Though this dragon has a build, like most dragons, of a sort of dark, shiny, almost like orca whale-like texture to it. It's not scaly, it's kind of smooth and sticky. But as this dragon moves out, you notice that the head is where things diverge radically. And rather than the typical sort of draconic, long snout, regal, beautiful, something that you all were missing for a while and now are so grateful to have once again, this dragon instead possesses a series of bizarre, just tentacles forming the most of its face. There are some dragon eyes at the top and kind of a large horns and ridges moving out of it, but most of this instead of a snout, this dragon has these long, like, it looks like shark skin almost, these sort of black and gray tentacles just coated in so much slime, and you see the hints of razor sharp teeth that might be arranged not in two lines for chomping jaws, but in some kind of lamprey-like circular coiling, helixing mouth within, and you almost, if you look at it, can't tell where the mouth starts. I would say that for Lord Buku Bazan, with your 10 million dice that you get to roll in all matters arcane, no roll would be required here for you to recognize something called a what's the term for it? Hold on. Basically, it's a mind flayer dragon, but it's a dragoillithid.
A dragoillithid.
A dragoillithid.
Do the tentacles look like tongues?
I can.
Any of you
they
see the...
do look sort of tongue-like, but
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you ask that clarification question?
Did anyone?
Well,
did
because
you see the
doesn't Buku? Yeah, didn't Buku have a tongue thing?
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
That's
Buku,
right.
you did have a tongue
From
thing.
2 years ago.
Oh, cool. Yes, I mean, granted, Buku, your stats are pretty crazy.
I don't think
for it.
Yeah, that's our like tier 3 emote. Is that lich because of that?
That is right. I'll throw that in because I have access to it. I think we actually do have like 1 or 2 subscribers who very kindly have that lich in question. But Lord Buku, though you have a huge amount of dice on this for the most part, but I'm going to say that the tongue supersedes. The tongue and the tongue alone supersedes your aversion to fear. So rather than rolling a resist coercion with the 7 horde dice and 1 dragon die you usually get, I instead would like you to just roll 2 horde dice, as if it is just based on your will. It is for this one horrifying subject alone. Just for this, because you read the dream.
That's messed up, man. That's messed up.
It is.
Well, I got nothing.
Yeah, Lord Buku, you recognize what it is, but then you behold the like countless tongues that are kind of twirling together and sticking, and it's the worst thing you've ever seen. And you do...
actually wait. Can I use some power to give myself a pairing? I feel like
Absolutely,
he wouldn't allow himself to at least be perceived.
Understood. Yes, if you, I'm sorry to just charge it to you so cruelly to take 5 hours away. You could spend 5 power, and
do that.
and basically it takes 5 hours of mental energy to not scream aloud, but you may do it. Absolutely.
XigXag. Real quick, just a quick question here, because I don't want to. I won't make any presumptions here, and a lot of horrific stuff that happened to our homelands and presumably our families.
Yeah.
Has your father always looked like this?
Oh yeah. He's pretty cool, isn't he? He's just awesome. I have the best dad.
Yes. And I have a wonderful child. Welcome, XigXag and friends. I promise I won't eat any of your brains.
You're so funny, Dad.
It's funny because I subsist exclusively on brains.
A lot of stuff that's making sense here.
Have you found any interesting ones lately?
Oh, well, I typically try not to eat highly intelligent biped brains, although in recent weeks that has altered. Yes, I have eaten the brains of many warlike bipeds.
Oh,
They granted me great knowledge.
Oh, before I forget, these are my friends, and I tell them,
Yes.
this is Lord Bukubuzan,
Lord
and this is
Pleasure to meet you.
Elam Buteros, and
how's it going?
Shishu Buteros, and Thangard Lasso, who is very smart.
Lord,
Don't eat his brain, though.
I won't. It seems to me that Lord Buku Bazan... I'm actually going to say that Shishu didn't spend power and Shishu did scream upon seeing the tongues, because you and Shishu were the two who were scared of tongues.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
So it says, some of you seem upset by my appearance. If it makes it helpful, I'm not even trying to read your mind, but some in your number, I won't identify who, are psychically screaming, tongues, tongues, oh God, no tongues. Does it make it better to know that I do not have a tongue at all?
Somehow, no, actually.
These are not tongues. They are tentacles, tendrils. And though tongue-like in terms of a muscle and function, they are not tongues, strictly speaking. My taste buds are all within my throat. And my speech is actually coming to you not through labial, dental, tongue-based motions, but in fact through telekinetic manipulation of my vocal cords.
Which are
Ooh,
in your throat?
Mostly. So,
That is fascinating.
Absolutely.
can I make any of you a sandwich?
What's
What kind of sandwich? I don't want to be
But I'm up for a brain
not
sandwich,
hungry,
but
thank
I
you.
don't think they would like that.
They have not. Oh dear. Well, I'm sure it's been a long journey. I was hoping someone would walk right into that one. Fine. Could I make you a cup of tea?
I'll take a cup of tea. That seems nice.
I mean, does it also have to do with brains?
No, none of you are doing it right. It's fine. You don't have to explain it, XigXag. It's fine. Forget it. Come into my lair. The
Calls it a lair.
Draco Illith
Is anyone else
turns
a little-
back and lets you all come in.
As like we're walking, I'm just gonna like walk over like to Elon and Lord Buku and just sort of like, okay, so I'm like, right now I think it's like 73 on us getting out of here alive, but it was dropping fast, friends.
Don't worry.
I mean, no, I feel like
cool. That is super cool.
I mean, I don't really believe that either, but I don't think that. I think we're gonna be okay.
Well, as long as one of us thinks we're going to get out of this alive.
Don't worry. It's so cool.
Well,
XigXag, you have a lovely home, and
isn't it cool? Are there any big, like jars of brains up in?
If there are new jars of brains, well, good thing. Yes,
Thank
basically,
you.
as you enter, what this does feel like a combination, like David the Gnome Cave meets Mad Scientist Lair. There is a lot of weird equipment. There are a lot of strange, taxidermy things. But yes, as you enter,
I imagine like some darkly gothic kind of thing.
For sure. But it all seems kind of cozy. But as you enter, you also find there are massive, cloudy, dusted over vats all over the place of glass. And if you look within, you can usually see large brain-like things floating within them.
XigXag.
I told you about brains.
Yeah, no. You've always been very, very true to exactly who you are. And yes, you are right. It is, it's very cerebral.
Yeah, it is. You funny. That's pretty cool.
But if you guys sort of lead through here, you eventually come to a larger sort of chamber. There are it's not super high ceilings, so there are a bunch of perches, but they're fairly close to the ground, and you can but there's room for plenty of dragons. You suspect this is a chamber where several dragons could come meet if they wanted. But there are a lot of sort of tomes and books around the sides in here. There's also a XigXag. You're familiar, of course, with this room. This is the main kind of audience chamber or hangout room. But on one side of this, there is this very complicated looking contraption. It has a combination of cylinders that seem to have all sorts of like piercings and data within them, kind of look like piano rolls, honestly. And then, but around that, there are also all sorts of crystals and arcane things and pieces.
Is it a magic computer?
It is XigXag. Yeah, I suppose I'll just. You know what it is. It is a magical. It's like a viewing machine. It can conjure illusions, but at times it can also be used for divination, to sort of see things in other places. But it has mechanical elements to it to sort of assist with the arcano-mechanical sort of, it's like 20% tech, 80% magic kind of vibe.
Oh, we could use that to spy on their home places, right?
You can use it to spy on places for sure, and that XigXag mainly uses it to seek out new sort of prey. Seek out brains to go and find. But as you sort of kind of come in, XigXag sort of moves to one side and sort of gestures for you all to sort of take your places. Lagok is in there looking very. There's this your biped friend. If you would like, I have a chair. And kind of rushes out of the room, returns a few moments later with a very upsetting looking. It's like it's not plugged into anything, but it really looks like an electric chair, and sort of it has all sorts of machinery where you would strap someone in to whatever. But sort of sets it down and says, "It is somewhat comfortable. Don't hit any of the dials." And then XigXag kind of gets to one side.
So, Dad, we've been gone for a while. Tell us what's been going on.
Oh, well. Bipeds attacked. I feared you lost. I could see no sign of you through the viewing machine.
We were off plane.
I understand. I largely stayed here. At times I would send secret missives to members of the Resistance, warning them of incursions. I was never detected, and, well, as to those bipeds who came looking, they only found me when I wanted them to because I was growing hungry and curious. But it seems the tide has turned. So, that's nice. What's everyone majoring in?
Well, the school was destroyed and all our instructors were killed on our first day, so currently nothing.
It's well, I mean, I'd say it's like we're more like kind of doing a semester abroad right now.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like an internship.
Field training.
No, we've done a lot of traveling, planar traveling. Just really getting our ducks in a row, you know.
We were stuck in a domain of a dread for a while, but then Elan had a.
I mean, we also
idea.
we kind of saved this realm.
Yeah. Got rid of some of the chief troublemakers. And I'm wondering, could we use that device to see what's going on in Lord Buku's and Buteros's castles?
Oh!
Without actually flying there?
You certainly could do so. To check on your own families, of course. Although, I would wonder, would any of your families, did any of them have hidden lairs below the earth like mine?
Probably not. They were very upward kind of folks.
Well, then
we weren't
maybe
subterranean. We weren't particularly subterranean. I mean, there was like a cellar. I wouldn't really call it like a domain.
Cellar.
I would imagine then we can check on your properties, but it is unlikely that any of your families will be living there. If they have survived the attack, they would have flown elsewhere. But you're welcome to use the machine. Don't touch that dial! Sort of turns to Lagak. I wasn't touching any dial. I know, just want to be very clear. There are certain gears and levers within, but the chair is comfortable, yes? Of course, yes. It probably is. It may not be, speak honestly. It is not very comfortable. Yes, I think I'm just going to sit on the ground if that's okay. And the guy just gets out and kind of sits on there. Understandable. It is a death machine. But it is for bipeds. I thought you might like it. Well. Let me bring out some refreshments.
Do we have any servants, or is it just he does everything?
No servants.
No.
Mainly uses telekinesis to carry stuff around. Contradicts for a few moments, kind of pauses and goes,
Do we have any apples?
Would you like an apple? Wait.
I am.
Wait. Damn it.
Are you?
Ugh. Can I make you an apple pie?
Certainly.
Kind of moves over and begins to move his hands over and goes, you're an apple pie.
That is.
I've been trying to make such a joke for a while, but none of you wanted sandwiches nor tea. None of which I could actually offer, of course.
That was
you know
surprising.
What? It was worth the wait, and I appreciate that you kept going for the setup because it was worth it.
I have learned I learned that joke from a recent brain I ate. Everything about that biped was odious, but I thought that joke was pretty funny.
I don't get it.
Well, you say to sub one, can I make you a sandwich? And the person says yes, and you go, boom, you're a sandwich.
I'm an apple pie now.
I don't, but you're not.
I mean, I'm not literally an apple pie. Well, no, I don't appear to be literally an apple pie.
No, I did not use any transmutation magic to cause you to become one. I'll be back with little pieces of brain. Leaves.
Hey, XigXag, just so I can kind of prepare myself, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to be rude here. What does brain taste like? What should I prepare myself for
It
texturally
tastes
and
like-
taste-wise?
It's like, awful, very tasty. Chewy, kind of chewy. Depends on what brain, I mean, it depends whether it's biped brain or, something else. Every creature has different tasting brain. But the interesting is that you get a lot of flavor of that creature's essence. So it's very different. It's very unique to all of them.
That is actually quite fascinating. Sort of. Interesting, like how you.
Do regular dragons would have the same stuff from a brain as a dracolithid? Kind of know?
No, you don't get what a dracolithid consists from.
okay.
I mean, there's different flavor, but you don't pick up any mental stuff. I will say that I'm gonna have we'll have Shishu will say, I also hear it's really high in collagen, which is great for your scales.
Yeah.
After a few moments, however, if you guys don't just start doing anything around here, XigXag will return, saying, "Good news!" and put down a large sort of platter of various brains that have been recently decanted, but also puts down a large kind of canvas sheet that you guys all smell blood, and says, "I had a spare barrel or two of cured meat, if you'd prefer." There's just
Just a barrel of cured meat.
I imagine dragon-sized barrels can fit a few cows in them, so it's it's 4 or 5 cows worth of just, smoked cow jerky. There's got to be a term for that. Anyway, there's some non-brain options if you'd like.
I think it's just jerky.
Sure. Also, you've all eaten brains when you've eaten, when you've picked up an animal and eaten it whole. You've got a brain then. Yeah.
Do we? But we don't when we eat them, we're not getting their memories and stuff.
No.
You're not. Sadly.
Unfortunately.
Or congratulations, Lee. In any case, he'll sort of sit back and say, "It is good to have you home, XigXag. I was worried."
I was worried a little bit about you, but I knew that you were a survivor.
I'm very safe down here with my experiments. Oh, speaking of which, a word to all of XigXag's friends and biped now sitting on the ground because I'm a terrible host, with only one biped chair that is a torch device to my name. Apologies. Do not go to the triangle cellar.
Oh, why not?
What's in the triangle cellar?
An experiment of mine. Do not.
Tell me all about it.
I will
Exciting.
not, in the presence of your friends, but when everything is done, I will tell you about it then, XigXag.
When is that gonna be?
When? I don't know.
It's-
Or sometime your
Can you
friends
just
are
give me a
not here.
hint? Can you? Oh, okay. Okay.
Actually, wait.
I can.
In this
Can-
case, I forget how easy this would be. XigXag. And then, XigXag, you get a telepathic explanation of something beamed into your brain.
Okay.
The rest of you sit there as there's just this you hear this kind of as all the tendrils sort of kind of stick out straight at XigXag, and the eyes are big and intense over it. And XigXag listens and then goes, "So you see, I can't have them going in there."
Yeah. course.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Let's look at the let's look at your places.
Wait, just
Mhm.
this is gonna bother me like all night if I don't ask. Is it the triangle cellar because it's shaped like a triangle because it's filled with triangles?
It
That's
is
a great question.
neither.
That's a very good question, actually.
Oh, I do not wish. Kind of this Draco-Elithid kind of like moves over you in this very kind of tentacles just going in every direction. It says, I do not wish to put your mind at greatest strain, but the triangle cellar is neither shaped like nor containing triangles.
Yeah, that's gonna bother me all
Is that
night.
ironic?
No.
ironic?
No, there's very little iron in it either. Ha 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 ha
Yeah,
ha ha.
pretty good one actually.
Actually, that's not true. There is a
That's
fair
nice,
bit
yes.
of ferrous metals within. So that part was for the joke. But it is not ironic for that's not the I want to be honest with you. Don't go to the triangle cellar. But yes, if you wish to use the viewing machine, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah. Can I just do I know how to use it, or?
I think you know how to use it, and XigXag can also help with kind of more stuff. Is it? So your plan is to use this viewing machine to basically check in on the others. Great. Where are you going to look first?
Well, it depends on them whether we should look at the place or should I try to find the actual dragons. I don't know if that's possible. It really depends on them, what they want.
So we already know the answer for Lord Buku. So the Buteros, Elon, do you want to make use of this machine, or is this some kind of like would you rather not have would you rather not have this kind of like a deep state secret? Do you not want to give your
No,
data
I mean, I
over to
really
a
like
thing
if
this?
I only really use the devices that I invest in. I feel like you really can't trust something unless you have a share in its equity.
That's really
So,
true.
So yeah, no, it seems like it's unproven. I mean, I'm all about unproven tech. Let's just be clear here. I'm gonna try it.
If only it was a
Full
submarine.
circled.
Oh no.
Is that clear
That
enough
is
for you?
incredible.
Is that clear enough?
The XigXag watches Elon for a while and says, a mind like this could be very useful for destabilizing certain regions. But yes, so if XigXag, so what are you going to look for on the machine, XigXag?
Well, what do you want to learn? Do you want to look in your home?
You can check your house if you want to in Cloud's Curse. Certainly, Elon.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have you for this XigXag, and you actually have pretty darn high sort of intellect stuff already. And I'll allow like others, yeah, like Lord Buku, you could actually assist with this if you wanted to as well. But I'm gonna say this will utilize primarily calculate. This is going to be mainly a sort of. Oh, actually, no, XigXag. Since you have an extra one of that, you could do an investigate.
Okay.
But Lord Buku, why don't you roll me a calculate roll as you sort of attempt to help with this machinery? Elon, does the Buteros house in Cloud's Caress have like a name? Did you guys name it anything?
It's called the house.
Sure. Capitalized.
Creative as always.
But HAUS?
No,
More.
no, that seems Ponzi and effeminate.
All right.
Double
so
trinket, double
it's just
tome.
is it just called X?
Hold
That would
why?
have been better. That would have been better.
I have a triple artwork
You have a triple artwork. Lord Buku, how did
Nothing.
you do?
and a straight.
And straight, great.
Double tome, double trinket.
Double tone trinket. Okay, I'm gonna say with that, you have a straight as well, XigXag.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you'd like to, I will let you for free, thanks to Lord Buku's 2 successes. I'm gonna say 2 per each success. You can re-roll those other dice, so you can keep your 3 and re-roll the rest.
Okay.
No power required.
I have a double 5 in the new one.
Double 5 in the new one, so you did not add to the original at all.
No. Oh, yes, I did.
So
I
you have
have 4.
4th degree. Perfect. All right. So, with a 4th degree success, XigXag, you're able to home in rather quickly on the house. And Elon, you and Shishu see your home in Cloud's Caress. You're sort of, it's like they're fancy in sort of this mountain city. This kind of very, I assume, very minimalist architecture, really kind of angular and geometric and kind of, just like so sleek. You can sort of see the exterior, and you see that the gates have been completely ripped off of the place. And you don't see much like defacement of the property. You see some like, there's some scorch marks outside, some slashes, but it doesn't look like anyone has like purposefully like torn the place up. But XigXag, if you sort of press the viewer inside, and you guys, what you see is all these crystals begin to glow, and kind of there's this like weird sort of rear projected quasi holographic imagery kind of being kind of in a almost, it has a sort of stutter or shutter like it's an old film thing. You're sort of seeing, 20 images per second or something like that. So there's kind of a flicker to it. As XigXag pushes the instrument deeper within and is able to, with a 4th degree success, thanks to Lord Buku kind of helping calculate some of the things in the controls, you're able to go within the hall. The first thing you notice, Elon, is that all of the like very tastefully appointed cases that had various like riches and possessions are all gone. You see a lot of broken glass on the ground, but there is nothing left of sort of like the treasures that adorned your entry hall. And as you push through, XigXag, this remains the case. There is nothing of value left. Things have been sort of broken, but it doesn't look like anything was too personal in here. It was more utilitarian, just kind of rushing through, stealing stuff. You do, however, notice a few dead biped, like lying sort of on one of the halls. But as you push a little bit past that, you find the corpse of one of your parents.
Sorry, say that again. The corpse of what?
One of your parents. And
Can I tell which one it is?
you can tell that it is your father.
And this is like a viewing sphere, or like a palantir, so that we can all see this.
Yeah, it's more like it's like a big screen TV. Yes, it's all like visual, kind of, sort of misty mixed with kind of, it's like 2.5D kind of a vibe. But yes, you do see there is a dragon corpse there. It appears to have a few like pretty like long lances stuck into it. Elon, you know that this was one of your father. This actually occurred in one of your father's kind of like meditation chambers was where this happened.
And sorry, so it looks like the corpse of my dad.
It is, yes.
Well, well, it looks like my dad's sleeping, so Yeah, I think that I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
And the rest of us see this, or just Alon?
You all can, yes.
Yeah.
So sorry, Alon.
Sorry for what? He's just resting.
Well, just
He's deep meditating.
yeah, just you know, that we probably won't get to see or talk to your father like we had originally planned before heading out. That's, I think, what Buku was saying. He's sorry.
I mean,
Why? I don't know if he would even get like, an audience, but yeah, I mean, I think we should make an appointment with his secretary, and we'll just see how it works.
I mean, I don't think an appointment's going to help. Mario.
I know he's really busy.
Maybe we should not disturb him when he is in such a state of deep meditation. It would be rude.
Yeah, I
We
look
should
at
just let him,
I will look at Buku as I say this. I was like, yeah, Alon, I'm sure when you're ready to see your dad, we will see your dad.
No, I mean we can head over and see. I'm sure he's fine. I mean, I see that he's injured. I'm not an idiot.
Need to go over
but I think that he's strong, and I mean, if I had a nickel for every time my dad was impaled by a lance and then shook it off, I mean, where do you think half of my trust comes from? So, I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I pat him on the back. It's all good.
you don't need to touch. No, I don't. The physical thing, it doesn't need to happen here.
Oh, fine.
I find that neither comforting, and also from you, it's kind of gross.
XigXag, you notice XigXag's kind of spending a few moments kind of looking at the machine and kind of turning some sort of dials and sort of smaller kind of things, and also just using some kind of mental thing and saying, "Yes, I suppose there is nothing more to see here."
Yeah, also you should probably fix your machine. So
yes, indeed. Tongart, XigXag, and Lord Buku, I would like all of you to make look rolls as well.
Look or look?
Look, sorry, L-O-O-K.
Okay.
Yeah, under your good old vitality.
Vitality. That would be a double trinket.
Double trinket, okay.
Ruki just wants to whisper to Master. So are we really not? We're really just not going to tell. Like, we're just going to let this go.
I have triple gemstone and double trinket.
Triple gemstone. Okay, great.
Well, then I'll go towards double trophy. I have a double gemstone and a double trophy, but let's get a trophy in there for.
Understood. I will say that Tongart and Lord Buku, as you kind of have this conversation, and please answer that point if you'd like to. That question, Tongart.
Lord Buku, you were able to sort of accept what happened pretty easily. Everyone kind of has to come to it in their own time. Like,
I'm sorry. Well, first off, accept it? No. Easily? No. These are things that need to be dealt with.
Sorry, I meant process it. You were able to process it. Alon's not there yet.
You say that like Alon will ever be there.
Well, I mean, I'm just sort of concerned because last time Alon was in like a sort of a sticky situation, he sort of talked to a dark god. So I think we sort of need to let him come to this on his own.
Lord Buku and Tongart, as you're sort of saying this, you guys are seeing something. This is you're catching some glimpses and kind of getting the picture. XigXag, with your triple, and I'll also say just based on your proximity, as XigXag is looking through the machinery and kind of like before putting everything up, there's kind of like a preview window almost. And it appears that XigXag has also found another dragon corpse in the house. This one belonging presumably to the Buteros mother. Was also killed. So this the Buteros have not seen this yet. And XigXag saying maybe stop this.
And
XigXag,
I just like no.
XigXag, what you can tell, however, with your third degree of sort of seeing this as it's kind of being like swept along and not projected up, is the Buteros mother is surrounded by dead bipeds, giving you the impression that the Buteros father was probably killed either while meditating. You don't know that he really slew any bipeds, but the mother probably took out like 20 or so in her final moments. Yeah. But XigXag sort of sees this and is saying, "Yes, I do think there is something wrong with my machine. Perhaps no more remote viewings are necessary at this time."
Yeah,
I don't know if Vanguard would want to do a view or Lord Buku.
Do you clearly don't have any balconies here, right?
No, we are entirely subterranean.
Do you have anything that I could just like go and look out over?
The bog?
Like a cavern, maybe?
Yes. Ah, of course. You wish to stare into the abyss?
Yes.
Come with me, but remember, though we are passing by, do not enter the triangle cellar.
Are you setting up another joke? Is that what this is?
This one is no joke. My previous hilarious joke about sandwiches, tea, or apple pies, the time that is past. Now, do not enter the triangle cellar. Elon, you follow XigXag.
Yeah, I'm getting like funny chest feelings, so I feel like that.
You wish to stare into the abyss, of course.
Yeah.
XigXag pauses and says, "Yes, this seems fine." And kind of leads Elon sort of like out of the chamber. Shishu will sort of sit here, is also processing things kind of in her own way. Are you guys all cool just letting Elon go?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, Elon, you as you sort of come down, you notice there are some large dragon-sized doors, kind of in these twisting things, and one of them bears a triangle symbol on it. Presumably, that is the triangle cellar.
I'll take a note of that.
But kind of as you pass it, you do notice these sort of tentacles squirrel back and the eyes get real big of like, don't. And then leads you a little deeper, and soon you come to a different chamber, one that has similar door to the one beyond, but this just has kind of like the universal symbol for like swirling vortex on it. Kind of like
classic
kind of thing. And like a spiral thing. It says, "Very well. Stare into this abyss as long as you'd like. Do not try to fly into it, because it is an abyss. But if you fly into it, you can just fly out of it, but it is an abyss."
Okay. All right, I'm gonna stare.
Pushes it open, and Elon, you basically do notice there's not even like railing, but there's just like a very small bit of kind of like earth and kind of rock within this cavern, and then it's just a completely sheer drop off into pitch blackness. And as you look out, it does appear to be blackness ahead of you in all directions. Obviously, you have pretty good sort of night vision. XigXag will leave you in this room. Do you want to close yourself in, or do you leave the door open?
I'll leave the door open.
Okay, so you leave the door open, and you can stare into this darkness.
Yeah, and at this point, I just imagine. I do the thing I do a lot, where I just sort of imagine a view of myself from behind, like a silhouette, staring out, and I find that calms me.
Understood. Make a luck roll for me, Emma.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah, make a luck roll.
Me?
Elon.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, cool. You just stare into the dark. You picture yourself behind. We'll leave it there. Yes, go ahead, Tonkart.
Well, Lord Buku, I'm sort of convinced of three things right now. One,
Elon is heading towards some sort of crash, and then maybe if he collapses, there'll be a room for him to grow. But he's heading towards that. Two, my family is likely dead. And three, we absolutely positively have to go into the triangle cellar.
I don't think you do. Phil, are you ever gonna tell me what's in the triangles? And
I guess I should tell you. Hold on, yeah.
So tired, God. Just so tired. I don't know why we have to dance around the feelings of Elon, who's so callous, made fun of my dead family. And even have him confront the fact that his family is also gone. I don't see how that helps him. But whatever, I'll lean to your expertise on this. I have no
think it's
desire to go into
easier.
another mystery room of whatever wanton death and craziness. Full of brains and tongues and eyeballs. I'm good.
but why is it called the triangle cellar?
You heard the
I would
jokes.
love to
Who
know.
knows?
It
It's
is.
shaped like a
It's
triangle.
a symbol.
It's not filled with triangles. All right.
I think it's better if you don't go in there. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
There you go, XigXag.
Okay, let's see.
You, of course, can just tell them that immediately. I will leave that entirely up to you if you think that is something you would say or not.
Okay. I'm gonna look that one up.
In any case, as you guys sort of have this debate on poor Lord Buku. Like, I don't want to go into another just death trap, man. What are we talking about? Why would we go into another death trap?
It's sort of what we do, right?
Shishu, I'm very happy that your family is alive.
Are you saying that to
And,
XigXag?
Sorry, XigXag. Yes,
Yeah.
XigXag. I'm very happy.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy that your family is alive. And then I think Buku's gonna step outside, spend some time outside.
Or you go up to the swamp?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Lord Buku, roll a... Do you have a D20 handy? Nah.
Sure.
Yeah, luck roll. Don't need a D20, just a luck roll. What am I talking about?
That I can do as well. That's a pair of gemstone.
Pair of gemstone. With a pair of gemstone, you can go up there. It smells like a swamp, but there's no encounter at the moment. All is chill for the time being. XigXag, are you going to not share what's in the triangle cellar?
Right now I'm just wondering how my father did this. How he managed. This is very impressive.
He will reply to you if you ask him telepathically.
Sure.
We're gonna keep not saying what it is, but if you ask, how did you do this telepathically? XigXag will say, well, the trouble is, it came in different pieces, and it's possibly not all from the same one.
Oh. Did it come with the bipeds?
A portion of it did,
Oh.
but... As you can see, this is something I've been working on a while, XigXag.
What
But
do you
my
plan to do with
interest
it?
was reinvigorated by something I heard on a biped's brain, and then contrary to what I told your friends, I did leave on one mission to acquire the rest. Which I did.
Tell me more. This is...
It appears
The
one of
biped.
the primary adventurers who came here to slay our dragonkind, one of the so-called Grim Hunt, had killed one of these things long ago. And they had a portion of the spoils among their effects. So I snuck.
For what purpose?
This I do not know, nor do I care, but it does seem to correlate with the other pieces I have found thus far.
Oh.
Yes,
Are the other pieces our brains too, or...
yes. As I said, XigXag, this is a long process I've been engaged in since well before your birth.
Oh.
But it has been reinvigorated. This is a fresher piece, you see. I wonder if I have enough to attempt to fill things in. The gaps are considerable, but there are suitable proxies to simply fill in the grey matter.
And what will happen, you think, if you do?
If I am capable of restoring the entire mental organ of this creature, even cobbled together with other pieces filling in the gaps, if I were to then consume such a thing, even a chimerical hybrid of multiple specimens from different planes, oh, the knowledge I might then possess of great titanic monstrous things. But
Aren't you afraid you might become this monstrous thing? Is there no danger?
I am not in danger, but this brain is active. If anyone were to enter the triangle cellar, I fear what exposure could do.
Oh, it would be dangerous to them. Just the brain itself. Without...
Perhaps not, but I'd rather not take the risk. And more than that, I like your friends and all. I don't want to risk contamination. Not of a subject like this.
Well, it is very exciting, but please be very careful.
Oh, I could say the same to
Keep me
you, but I think we both know neither of us will be.
That is true. Keep me updated of the progress if you can.
I will. Unless, of course, I lose my mind to that mind.
Oh, do not do that, please, Dad.
I'll avoid it if I can, but I am very hungry for a delicious brain such as that.
Well, you have to do what you have to do.
I do.
We all have our fate.
XigXag has had a telepathic conversation with her parent. Shishu and Elon are both sort of separately processing information or choosing not to process information, Lord Buku has stepped up to breathe in the swamp air. Hey, guess what? You know what? I said no encounter. You see an egret. There's one over there. Waiter bird. Nicely done. Tongart. What are you doing? The answer is you don't have to do anything. But if you're going to go to the triangle cellar, now's your big chance.
I would try to stop him.
Well, you might not be aware.
Hmm?
You're telepathically talking to your dad. You might not be aware. Tongart, what would you like to be doing in this kind of downtime?
I want to at least go listen to the door of the triangle cellar.
Understood. Tongart, my friend, the following is not your area of greatest expertise.
Sure.
But you do need to make a sneak roll. And if you'd like to spend any of your fully there power on account of your rapid recovery, you are welcome to do so. Oh, everybody, by the way, also, I some of you have already used power to do things. I will say at this point, Lord Buku, are you at full -5, or are you even below that?
For what?
Well, what is your current power?
Oh, 29.
29, like 40 something?
Out of 42, yeah.
Okay. Okay. You spent the 5 to do that, but I'm going to give... so everyone can recover 6 power if you need to. Yes, Lord Buku, that won't affect what you spent. So that's perfect, yeah.
Well, I'm going to spend 10 power.
Okay.
To add 5 dice to this roll.
Love it. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba. I'm loving it. So make your sneak roll with what? That gives you 7 dice?
It gives me 7.
Sure.
Paratrinket. Oh, actually, a paracoinage.
A pair of coinage. Security.
Yeah, I guess that would be better.
I will say that is enough for you to sort of get out without, attracting huge amounts of attention. You can certainly get down there. You wouldn't bet that you're completely unobserved, but you have crept down, and you sure enough.
Passive perception that
you're busy doing something else. Tongart, you get down there and you discover, with a little bit of looking through these bioluminescent corridors, a door. Heavy iron door. No gaps, no holes, with a triangle stamped upon it. You are rather confident this is the triangle cellar.
Alright, I just want to listen at the door.
Make a listen roll.
I will spend 5 power to have triple trophy.
Triple trophy. Within the chamber, you hear a distinct and persistent glub 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 bubbling. It's like a bubbler. What you hear is a bubbler. You hear this and the hum of what sounds like equipment. You've heard hums like this upstairs next to those various massive vats in which preserved brains are floating, which largely Kodrazix is using as like that's like the good wine, these are like oh, what a great vintage of brain, I'll eat that brain today kind of vibe. But you hear through the door sounds like that, but louder and more, for lack of a better word, industrial.
Okay.
Glub 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 glub. with a 3rd degree success, I will say that you hear one other thing from within that room, which is an odd, like, mid-range pitch, kind of like humming sound. It sounds almost like a crystal vibration on a rate that seems different than everything else in that room. It's not as if they're not it doesn't seem to be correlating to other pulses or whirs, but periodically you just hear this kind of that sounds on a lower, it's also lower in the mix. It's a quieter thing, but with a 3rd degree, you hear that too.
Okay.
Oh boy, I just read it up and
Well, all right. I'm not gonna try to enter. I will make my way back to the room where we all were.
Understood. In that case, we'll say that a few hours pass here. Everyone can regain another two power if they'd like or need it. You have taken sort of a rest here. XigXag has confirmed. So basically, one of you has confirmed that you have a living family. Based on the situation in which this one lives, you kind of understand why. Tongart, a question is, do you want to use that viewing machine to check in on your own homestead? Or having witnessed how the Buteros saw things, that's something you'd rather not do?
No, I think it's okay. We don't have to look.
Understood. Sorry, XigXag's asking me a private question. I'm going to reply to it privately.
This smoked cow is pretty peaty.
Oh, yes, that was his name. Petey. Ah.
Yeah.
And this... Oh, and I see the smoked cow that Lord Buku is enjoying must not have been able to dance well. He had 2 left hooves. He also had 2 right hooves, so actually he did ultimately have the right number. But you get the joke.
Dad, you're so funny.
I
You're killing me.
appreciate your perspective on that. Well, I would ask you to stay longer, but it seems like you have many matters to attend to, as do I, in the Triangle Cellar.
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, good job.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yes. Knowledge is what I crave.
That's the best kind of craving.
Most dragons want treasure. I simply want to know things.
Well, that is well, they do say knowledge is power, right?
That eternal life, right?
What? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Well, in any case, you're welcome to stay as long as you like. But when you're ready to go, travel well and safely to wherever it is you next venture, XigXag and friends. And do come back, and please, if you ever kill anything interesting, and you have occasion to do so, don't go out of your way. Please never go out of your way.
Oh.
But if you ever have the opportunity, bring me the brain.
Of course, Dad.
Oh. I understand. Oh, so all that time you were trying to
Yeah, I was just
Bring a
trying to
brain.
bring home some trinkets for Dad.
That's certainly actually very kind of sweet.
There are not very interesting brains out there anyway. Well, where do you guys wanna go or do
Well-
next?
I think I'm sort of prepared to move on to whatever our next chapter is. I believe all roads lead to Wenha
I
at this
I
point.
tend to agree.
Oh, but what about why ha? How ha? And hoo ha? Ha 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 ha!
Yes,
Um,
Dad.
I don't think we'll be
Roads lead to
going.
hoo-ha?
Yeah,
Is that what
I
we're
don't think we'll be
saying?
going to Hoo Ha.
Sometimes
anytime.
my jokes get off color, but that's okay. Oh. Oh dear.
That one really upset him.
Apparently did. He was done for at that point.
But sent everybody.
Yeah, well, what is your next move, my dragon friends?
Well, we should maybe collect Elan, but
Huh.
I don't
We
know.
will say that Elon has come back
Yeah.
upstairs at this point. You're all together here.
I want. I can't remember the name of it because I keep wanting to call it Montevideo, and I know that is capital in South
It
America
is.
and not the plane.
Rendezvous.
Mondego.
Rendezvous.
Rendezvous. Yeah. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's French.
I mean, Philip, you made it up.
No, that was just French.
Okay.
It's just wish world in French. Monde is French for world view, but it's like a weird view. It's Voeux. Like, guys, have you heard of consonants? Oh. Insert joke about.
Is that like
French.
a?
I don't know.
Yeah. So. Well, we don't. Security. The council doesn't really seem to want us around, and I don't think we want to be around. So I guess we should leave then, right?
I think we should, yes.
Sounds like rendezvous, right? Go
My
try
vote
to
is
seek
a
an audience with
rendezvous.
Wenha. See if she can answer any questions for us.
Know that. I'm torn. We should probably talk to. Should probably talk to the council.
I feel that's like a waste of time. And
Yes, but
yeah, the Blue Dragon pretty much shut it down already.
my concern is only that. What?
Want to look like we're running or something?
Well, it's not. I mean, that is definitely one of the negative results of us just leaving without giving notice or having discussions with them. But also, our main goal, as far as I can tell, is to free our peoples of this curse. And while discussing the curse in and of itself seems to be problematic, and perhaps we should have a better game plan than what we tried to do last time, it does seem that we can. There might be resources available to us if we can convince them of our purpose, firstly. Secondly, if we wish to be a part of the rebuilding of Wyrmloth, ignoring those that already maintain power seems to be a poor avenue to go about doing that.
I mean, I am always open to communicating.
Sounds like a fool's errand to me, though.
Well, when dealing with fools, that's often the case. I for myself, I'm beginning to question our purpose here and what it is we're trying to do. I look around and I see Bazan Keen in ruins, and I have a desire to rebuild it. I acknowledge that there are greater purposes involved, but
My
I'm wondering if this is even the group to do that with.
You mean rebuild or to go off and try to remove the greed from Wyrmloth? Which part of that?
Whichever part of that.
Because my concern right now with what the remaining dragons intend to do here is to continue a cycle that will bring war back here, right? Because they want to go leave and sort of reclaim the wealth that was lost from bipeds wherever they feel like.
Yes.
And that feels like it will just bring more war back to Wyrmloth.
Agreed.
I too wish to just rest. Man, I was supposed to just be like writing a paper right now, you know? So
Yes.
I also, I'm sure there's a lot more trees to plant. I'm sure there's not a lot left at home. So I feel for you there.
Sounds like there's some sad people in here. What are you all sad about?
Well, we're just sort of discussing what our next plan is. And if they don't want us, if the majority of people are going to be as resistant as, I'm sort of thinking what I'm, correct me if I'm wrong here, if I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, Buku, is that if the majority of the bombs and such here, if the majority of the dragons here are gonna be as resistant as Fulbright and resist us trying to remove this greed from them, like what is the point? Maybe we should just stay here and repair our lives. But I just feel like it's just gonna come back to us again. But that is also said that if we go down this path to go out there and do this, we are definitely going to be angering an incredibly powerful dragon that will come after us.
The,
If we
I mean, I feel
succeed, yeah.
I mean, it feels like I think we need to sort of like flip this on its head, you know, sort of turn it around. Because to be honest, one, a lot of sadness around here that like nobody needs that. Number two, I don't think that it's really our job to remove the greed from folks. I think that really this bomb is just sort of standing in our way from accumulating power and wealth on our own. So it seems to me that like that's the way forward.
Of course, that's what you think.
Well, I think if we succeed, they will understand our point.
I mean,
they can make up their minds whether they want to be greedy or not.
I'm not super concerned with the other dragons. I mean, we're free, thoughtful, independent dragons. But we're free of this curse, but we're still dragons. I mean, we are still dragons.
Well, that is all very factual.
We're still dragons. Yeah, see? Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spin that. I can't tongue guard that or tongue guard my way out of this one.
I mean, I mean, is a dragon without a horde still a dragon? No. No. Not at all. There are still many. I mean, there are. I mean, we're. If anything, we've just realized that we've been in a very small pond here.
I guess ultimately the question here, Buku.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I'm not. My name's.
No, I know Alan, but see, I'm gonna ask Buku a question because Buku is the one that seems the most reticent of us to leave. Buku's also the only one who can take us anywhere.
Ugh.
So I think if Buku, it will make you feel better to speak with the council before we go. That's something we should do. If that allows you to leave with a little bit more lightness.
I'm just afraid if we go to the council, we're gonna lose our freedom to choose what we do.
I mean, they can't. We're not going to serve them. I think we're just going to tell them what we're leaving. I don't think we're there to follow instructions. Doesn't seem like they want us to, based off of what Fulbright said. They sort of wanted our input, but based off of what we said to her, they wanted less of our input. But I think we should go give her our input. Maybe mostly because she doesn't want it.
I just don't. This is the issue. Why are we going to Wenha? For what purpose? Are we going to free all of Wyrmloth and all dragonkin? Are we going to further our own powers?
Yes.
What's the reason? Because I'm getting different answers from each of you. We have no united purpose anymore. Wyrmloth is free.
Well,
I don't understand why I'm traveling with this group here anymore.
Well, because we're your family.
Okay. Are we? Are we? You seem to not care about anyone else's pain or your own. Are we?
That's not true. No, that's not true at all. I thought we had a very touching moment that you probably have forgotten about when we were looking at your family. You remember when I held your head and I hugged you? Yeah. I know. It's big feelings. It's big feelings. It's big feelings.
Before or after making fun of them?
Oh, it was after.
Oh, okay. Just checking on that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't make fun of. No, once we found out that,
Lord Buku.
Also, we could just talk to. We could talk to my dad. And we could probably bring your parents back, right? I mean, if that's what you want.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Lord Buku. So I'm resolute in what I want to do, and I want to give everyone here in what is our home the chance to be who they really want to be without any outside influence.
Yes, I feel that what at stake here is the future of Wyrmloth. That's what Thungar's saying, I believe, and I agree with that.
I don't disagree either. Question is, in what direction do we want to shape it? We have not been clear on that.
Well, I think
if we leave the curse in place, this whole back and forth with the bipeds and such will keep continuing forever.
Have you considered what this means, though? I mean, really deeply considered it. We could leave the curse in place. Do you realize what would happen then? we would be the greatest, the most powerful dragons in all of Wyrmloth history forever and ever.
In a
Yeah,
cursed
We
land.
we could continue
Yeah.
to grow, never taking gate or grace.
Yes.
Accumulate our power here. Become demigods of this plane.
I don't find it very.
I mean,
Well,
that's pretty
and-
good.
and
That's
what's
pretty.
And
That's
what's
pretty.
with the rest of the Wyrmloth? At what cost?
Well, say
No,
I mean,
no
what-
additional cost. What they've lived with their entire lives.
Right.
Or we could challenge arguably one of the most powerful beings in all of the multiverse and see how that fares for us. With getting no reward, no appreciation.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you, Buku. Whoa. Wow.
Those two totally same page.
Wow. Whoa, today has been a really big day. Wow.
Let me ask you well, as much as I'm happy to see you two in lockstep here, let me just ask you a question to the point you're making. Now, that proposal doesn't particularly interest me. I just sort of want a quiet life free of constant hunger and
I knew that
attack,
it was
but-
a mistake. I knew it was a mistake to go do this thing where we're not ourselves. I knew
But-
it.
we all right now within each of us and within many atoms possess an incredible power, a power that we don't particularly understand. So wouldn't you want to go to the source of that power and ask her about it?
That's kind of true. I mean, we all also, I kind of want to know a little bit more about this wish stuff.
Let me also be clear. I'm not advocating that we don't do this. I'm not saying that I wish to become, and maybe this is why I'm.
You're not saying no. Wait.
You want to
Don't
back
say-
up on
don't-
that?
don't say
Back
that
up on
word.
that sentence, my friend.
Yeah, because you're not saying that. That's what you're not saying.
He did say I'm not saying, so it's clear that he's not saying I wish to become. But somewhere a god is like,
I'm very clearly not Wing this result I mentioned. My point is that if we are going to go to another plane to tangle with the most powerful entities in the universe, we
Who
should be
said that we
clear.
tangle? We don't have to tangle. We could tangle
Right now,
instead.
Well, this is also this is my point. If we're going on the trip to Wenha, if we're going to make that big sacrifice and journey, we should probably have an understanding of what it is we're trying to get out of it. If it's just information about the boons we've received, fine. But it sounds like there's some cross purposes.
But
Alon desires more power at the expense of others.
I feel that we might understand more if we go there than staying here.
Right. But remember when the council came to visit us and we didn't have a clear plan, and then it ended up that she kind of doesn't like us and we kind of, screwed
Well,
the pooch on that one?
I don't know why you think the council will give us anything useful.
I'm not saying that they will. My point is that boat has probably sailed because we weren't going in with a clear plan and objective.
And
My
now you want to
concern-
go back to them for what purpose exactly?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we need to know what we're looking for, what we're trying to get out of it. If we go to Wenha, are we just going for information about our new boons? Are we going to overthrow this, this big dragon? Is that our goal? Are we just going to accumulate all of our power as possible? Like, what is our goal? Just like when the council came to us and we didn't have a plan in place. And so what ended up happening is they just got offended at us. So whatever they could
that's-
have offered us, we now
that's-
no longer have available to us.
that's not entirely true, Lord Buku. The moment we
I'm not-
started referring to it as a curse was the moment she sort of shut down to whatever we had to say.
The-
So
the whole
I understand your point you're making, but that particular loss was not a clarity of vision here.
Yeah.
Error.
Yeah.
And if I may, we are all of the wants and desires of this group are on the same trajectory. It's just a matter of how far everyone wants to go. So everyone, whether or not Alon wants to get more power, that's on the way to fixing this place and overthrowing this entity. Now, whether or not it sounds like XigXag and I both want to remove the curse here. Now, that requires more power than any of us have right now. So we would need to acquire more power to do that. And in doing that, if that is what we in fact want to do, that means upsetting this dragon. None of these are separate things. They're all tied together. Every single one of them is a strand on a thing. It's just a matter of how far do we want to go. Now, I want to go as far as it takes to let all the people here make their own choices in their life. Which means upsetting a dragon that I don't have a power to stop. A dragon that can devour a plane. In theory. I don't know if it's the same dragon or not. There seems to be 3 dragons out there with a lot of power right now. And so I don't know entirely what it is I'm stepping to, but I know that's where I want to be going. And right now, the only person I know of that can answer any of those questions to see if it is something that I really want to do is Wenha in Mondevue. And also, now that you have that amulet, it really isn't that much of a journey, as I understand. We would just go there and come. I mean, look, I know that like our experience going to places has been pretty bad, and that's mostly my fault. But I feel like it wouldn't like if we go there and we don't like it, we just come back here.
I think yes, our first step is finding out information. Correct.
And maybe you can refill your ring, you know?
Yes. Most definitely.
Who doesn't want more dubs, you know?
Dubs.
Yes, of course. Well,
But I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm just sort of. I'm not speaking for everyone here. I'm just speaking for myself. You know, and I'm not trying to corner you or anything like that. That's how I feel. That's what I want to do. And if you want to do that too, then great. That's already we're working on the same path together. I don't know if that's how everyone here feels.
I don't either. I suppose that's where my concerns lie.
I mean, yeah, I recognize that it feels like Alam will want to go on this because it will grant him more power. To what ends he wants to wield that power, I'm not entirely sure. But we're all going to have to accumulate more power, regardless, if we want to go down this road.
Which is why
You want to.
But you said we don't have clarity of vision. I fear we cannot gain more clarity of vision here. We need more knowledge, which we cannot find here. We have to find to Venha should have the wisdom.
It's sort of fine. Well, Buku, do you want to do this? Because it feels like a lot of this. I know, like you want us to be unified in what we're doing, but it feels like a lot of this is coming because you have doubts. If you don't want to do this, that's fine.
how can you not have doubts? That makes no sense to me. The surety of all which you know,
Because
travel down this road is baffling to me. What is it? Look, I've lived my whole life in pursuit of power so that I can rule my kingdom justly, or at least, well, what I used to think was justly, and now I don't know. And we're endeavoring to go and change the entire world with no material benefits for ourselves. This goes counter everything I've been taught and learned, and yet I feel like that's the way
I'm
you
not
should. I'm maybe it's just me that is confused and unsure.
Well, Buku, for me. So one, if it makes you feel any better, my friend, I think you'll acquire a lot of material wealth along the way. But to answer your question, my viewpoint has always been that of the furtive breath, and the furtive breath is about never judging a dragon for their choice about whether or not they choose gate or grace. And all I want is for that to be an actual choice for a dragon, and not something that's put upon them. And I was lucky enough to find that, and I would want every other Wyrmlothian to have that. What I have, I would want them to have. Now, they might do evil with that, they might do good with that, but they're free to be who they are. And to me, that's worth going to the ends of, well, I was going to say the Earth, but many other Earths.
Ends of the multiverse, baby. Ends of the cluster.
And I understand that that might be unfamiliar. And then, yes, I understand that we are, and perhaps it's that faith of that choice that I've always sort of lived with is grounded me in something. Now that sort of that greed is gone from us, and there isn't this driving force in us to acquire that. Well, to me, just then I'm searching, I guess, for that purity of that choice.
Maybe that is a noble goal. Perhaps it's just I'm trying to funnel that ambition towards something specific. Perhaps that just doesn't exist anymore.
I think we don't know enough just yet to be able to be thus specific. That's how I feel myself.
Well, it does seem. Well, it seems like at least the majority, Ellen notwithstanding, because even within the framework, Ellen, I think within the framework of removing the curse allows people to search for wealth if they want it, but not feel like they have to, right?
I mean, I'm fairly confident I will be able to convince you not to do that later, so I'm not super worried about it.
4 out of 5 of
I
us
definitely
are
still
convinced
have
that.
a drive to acquire more shoes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
4 out of 5 of us wish to do this. The problem right now is we don't know what it takes to do it, so we can't direct towards that goal. Maybe that goal is insurmountable for just us 5 dragons.
Indeed.
But let's go ask a god a question and see what answer we get. We've done it before. Been bad for us. Maybe this will be better. She seemed nicer than Bill Bluster. Granted, we're talking through you, so I only heard your voice, not hers.
She is much nicer than Bill Bluster. That is like night and day.
It is demonstrably true. The only one of you who could possibly deny that would be Elon, just based on Elon's different relationship to facts. But I would say that as you all sort of consider this point, I'm going to mention one thing about talking to her, which is to speak to Wenha is even easier than that. But it is, as Tongart pointed out, wholly in the hands, or literally on the hand of Lord Bukubazan. Lord Bukubazan, you must simply activate your once daily ability with that ring to commune with her, to ask her these questions. You don't even need to travel to Mondevue. She also does not probably live on Mondevue the way that many gods, she affects Mondevue. She is massively, universally worshipped on that plane, so her presence will be felt. She probably resides in some heaven-like, outer plane. But certainly going to Mondevue is a thing that many people have said you could do. You definitely refilling rings. You can find temples to her. You can find experts on this as well. But you also can commune directly with her. As our dragons discuss all of these, have a very sort of long discussion of, as Sophia said, is this the most serious conversation you all have ever had? And I was like, I believe so. As our dragons sort of kind of hash this out in an intense way, asking, I think that Lord Buku, though, has fundamentally sort of propose the key question to all of this, which is, what are we doing? Are we even a united front? What is the goal here? And I think it's an important thing for them to figure out. But it sounds like Elon, with his confidence that he'll be able to convince them out of a bad idea later, Tongart and XigXag with their desire to shift stuff up, and Lord Buku recognizing that getting more information probably makes sense. While we may first pause to discuss things with that council at some point soon, our dragons will commune with Wenha. That is where we'll end tonight's session. And we'll be back in 2 weeks to see what happens with that. But thank you all so much for playing on this first night back in over 2 weeks.
A million years, it feels like.
Basically a million years. If 2 weeks goes by, I'm just like, well, I guess the channel's over. Canceled. There's no reason to keep doing that because I can't remember it. But yes, so it's been very fun. Thank you so much for jumping us back into this. We have some other games this week. On Monday, which is tomorrow, we have Theme Party back again. Very excited to see what undersea hijinks those minifigures get up to tomorrow. On Wednesday, we are back with Formation Nation, with what will be the final issue of Formation Nation, though not the end of those many characters. Is the final issue of that. We'll be having a new thing with the characters that
And then after that, we will have Formation Nation presents a top flight story, whatever the follow-up show is to that.
It's so much. Yes. So Wednesday we're back with our final issue of the Formation Nation miniseries. Then there'll be Top Flight presents Formation Nation presents because there's a character literally her name was Present.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I will Galanor and Saber. Oh my gosh, you guys. Galanor and Saber just said, I thought you only canceled the channel if you sneeze again. I need to tell you guys that on Tuesday, I think, sometime this past week when I was so sick, I sneezed so hard. And I was looking up and everything was like, these are serious symptoms if they happen a lot. And I'm like, well, I sneezed so hard that every bone in my body felt like there was like a needle inside of it that was expanding like this. Like my back was just nothing but little slug-shaped, like radiating pain. And then it was all gone. But it was one of I had a sneeze, the most violent sneeze I've ever felt. And had we been on stream, the channel would be canceled forever. So good thing we weren't. But yes, so on Wednesday, we are back with Formation Nation. Superhero fun. We'll see that. I'm so sorry that we missed the game. I'm most upset that we missed this past week was Lost Lore Academia, since kind of with downtime, missing those games really does become like a problem, and that's part of the reason we're sort of wrapping that one up to do some downtime thing that doesn't, you get it. But then on Friday, we are finally back with Blood from a Stone. In our most recent episode of Blood from a Stone, 2 long-dead characters were returned to life, something that rarely, if ever, happens in the Blood from a Stone verse. But that is setting in motion an all-new phase of the game, so come join us for that on Friday. I'm very excited about it. So that's what we got on the channel, and then 1 week from tonight, I think we're back with Strange Lore. 2 weeks from tonight, we're back with more dragons. So come check all that out. Going to be a lot of fun. Would anyone like to talk about other things they're doing on their own channels?
Are you streaming this week?
I am taking this week off for work-related reasons, but I'll be back next week, I think. So, but you should tune into Pierce.
Yeah, sure. I'll be around tomorrow. Because I need. I possibly can. It's so good. It's so good. It's so much fun.
I hear it is.
So that'll be tomorrow. And Jed, you've been streaming a bunch of stuff lately. That's not just your normal.
Yeah, I've been streaming. I had a agreement with Dragonair, which is a new gacha game inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. We've been doing a D&D collab. So I recently got Drizzt Erden on my account.
Nice.
This Panther Guinevere. Anyway, yeah, but I've been doing that basically Monday and Friday. So you can stop by and hang out with me. Really only fun if people are there talking with me, so please come by and hang out. But yeah, I've been doing that lately, so I'll probably be doing that throughout this month. Pretty fun game. Surprisingly. Playing it right now.
There you go. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for our first game back after Thanksgiving and illness-related breaks. I'm happy to be here. There will be another big interruption of service in late this month.
Yeah.
For the Yule holiday. You'll be sorry, but we will try to stay, kind of with that. And then in the new year, we're gonna have a lot of fun new things going on. So I'm really excited about everything. So just stick with us. But thank you so much, Dragons. This was a delightful one. We really got to the heart of stuff. Boy, wasn't it all sad when Elon saw what had happened to his family and just dissociated. That wasn't rough at all, right? Yeah. So great.
What?
Good times. What are you talking about? So thank you all for watching. Until next time. Don't be a drag on the economy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
On topic.